Не подходи! Сзади!
Cold Fear is a third-person survival horror game set aboard a Russian whaler in the Bering Strait. Atmosphere. The rain pours down outside, the waves crash against the hull and the whole ship tilts from side to side. There's fires on the main deck and bodies hanging from the ceiling in the cold rooms. No one steering the ship, but it never quite sinks. The game's atmosphere reminds me of a B-movie horror film where everyone is overly dramatic and not getting paid enough. There's only a few parts of the ship and docks that are seriously atmospheric. It's fleeting and sort of vanishes room to room. Whilst there's some minor tension for what lies ahead in the rooms you explore, there's not a whole lot of it and it's usually over quickly. No Harry Masons.
Lansing? Oh, man. At least I found the code. Help me! Holy!
Scares. There's several cheesy jump scares, some of which are more effective than others, but none of them feel lazy. There's some creepy cutscenes, but not much to speak of during the gameplay. The zombies can be pretty frightening when they run at you full pelt, but other than those moments, there's not a lot here. Most of the enemy designs feature the same looking enemies over and over, with the zombies only having 2 variations, and all of the Russian soldiers looking pretty much identical. The parasites remind me of something from John Carpenter's The Thing, but there's not a lot of creativity put into them. That's still no Harry Masons. Sound design. The soundtrack is the kind of thing you'd hear in the background of a low-budget 90s disaster movie, and most of the dialogue fits along with the mood of the game. The guns sound pretty good, but the shotgun sounds excellent. The enemies all have their own easily identifiable sound, but it's not exactly harrowing stuff. The directional audio is functional and the game is enjoyable with headphones. That's one Harry Mason. Gore. There's blood splattered all over the ship and docks, bodies ripped to pieces, heads explode when you shoot them with the pistol, and blood splatters across the screen and runs down it like the camera behind Hansen gets soaked in the blast. It stands out against most of the environments it's in, looking really awesome. There's some gnarly stuff involving parasites crawling into people's mouths that are pretty cool too. For the most part it's really fun, and I can't help enjoying blowing a head off with a shotgun and having blood go everywhere. That's 2 Harry Masons. Story. Russian mafia member Colonel Yusupov discovers a new parasitic organism and invites his associate, Dr. Kamsky, to come and investigate and experiment on them. As per usual, it soon gets out of hand and the Russian whaler, Eastern Spirit, is boarded by a crack team of Navy SEALs who are totally wiped out by an unseen assailant. Tom Hansen, a Coast Guard in the area, is sent to the ship to investigate. The story is kind of interesting, but it's full of cliches, mad scientist, lab experiments gone wrong, and the number of times a character is knocked out and then infected is kind of silly. I like a lot of the dialogue, but again, it's B-movie stuff with a lot of effort put into it. Despite the fact that it's full of cliches and eye-rolling moments, it's really enjoyable if you don't take it seriously, which is something it doesn't feel like you're meant to do with this game. Making the final score 3 out of 5 Harry Masons. Cold Fear has a charm to it. It's not particularly frightening, but it's really enjoyable. The game is quite brief, but it's very cheap on Steam, and you get what you pay for. Again, I'd like to remind you this whole thing is down to my opinion in horror games, and if you don't share this opinion, then that's cool, I get it. I'd like to point out that whilst I was laughing at the dialogue and the gore, I did not scream like a banshee or run away from the computer, and I advise you don't either. There'll be more horror reviews in the pipeline, and thanks for watching, and always go check out Bumps in the middle of the night. Peace.